the question now is, how do we define feminism? What is the actual meaning of feminism? Because a lot of interpretation has been mended into it. I believe the initial meaning of feminism was women standing up for their rights in areas where they have been subjugated, in areas where they are not, for example, not allowed to vote in some countries decades ago, in areas where they are actually looked as not being able to speak up, especially as it relates to religion. Some religion actually don't allow women to speak up in the public place. Hello everyone, welcome back to Breakage Barriers once again, where we talk about culture and how it affects our life round the globe. My name is Blessing, or you can call me Lady B. With the rate of success that has been attached to feminism, it's changing. In fact, it's changed. I actually had an experience with my son whereby he ran to me once and he was like, "Mom, look." There was a Twitter trending whereby a lady wrote in the Twitter, "Kill all men." And he was taken aback by that. Why would a woman want to kill all men when in actual fact this woman must have or be related in one way or the other to a male gender? If we have to look at it fairly, the provider of the seed is the male gender, just as much as the womb of the woman has been created for that embryo to grow and be nurtured by the body of the woman and the woman herself. The seed is actually provided by the male gender. So for a human being to exist, we need a male gender. And for that human being to be able to manifest itself in this earth, we need the female womb. So we complement each other. Therefore, for a woman to stand up to say she hates all men and all men should be killed, probably because of the bad experiences she must have encountered, and no one can play down on that, because some women have actually been through horrendous experiences with some men. But that shouldn't be an excuse to want to eradicate all men, because once all men are eradicated, what then is left? All female? What's the assurance that once there is only the availability of all female, that even the females will not turn against themselves and start fighting themselves, most importantly out of frustration that they can't satisfy the biological need of the body? No matter the level of bad experiences, it's not an excuse for one human being to want to eradicate every other human being. It is most advisable to deal directly with that one. It is a stereotyping of a particular group because of one person. It's illogical. Feminism should be taken or practiced as women standing up against injustice meted against all women round the globe. But some women has taken it to an extreme right now, to the extent that when some men hear of that word feminist, it creates phobia, which can lead to hatred, which eventually complicates matters. When you look at feminism in some parts of the world, it can be taken as the woman usurping its position against the man, thereby demeaning the position of the male gender. In essence, more like a war zone. The woman trying to reclaim its position as a significant part and demeaning that of the man, which is not what feminism should represent. And economics has a lot to do with this, because it is during the economical contribution of each gender that there is an expression of war. So more so like an economical war going on between the male gender and the female gender, as we have it today in some cultures, whereby it is the man that dictates to the woman her position, how to dress up. It is the man that dictates to the woman how to care for herself. It is the man that dictates to the woman when to go out, when not to go out, and all that stuff. When we have to take one of these points now, relating to when to go out and when not to go out, because of the physical qualities of a woman, a man is supposed to be the protection over that woman because of her physical qualities, because there are some other men who will want to take advantage of that female gender forcefully, sexually. And that's why the dress code is sometimes forced on some women in some cultures. For example, in the Middle East, women are told to dress a certain way. That type of culture should be after protecting the physical body of the woman from sexual male perverts, not force it on the woman. The male sexual pervert should also be able to be accountable for his actions. So it should be both ways. But what we must understand is that across all cultures around the world, women have suffered significant oppression, especially when it comes to the sexual orientation of a male pervert. And this is where the fight against injustice and subjugation of a woman comes in every culture. But to take this fight further is the presentation of feminism to several cultures, which has been existing for ages. So it's not new, because the woman has had to stand up for herself and say no to such sexual male perverts. Feminism should be the fight against subjugation of women. Feminism in every culture differs. It's fought differently. In some cultures, the women are overtaking the men. In some cultures, the women and the men are on equal terms. But even this equal terms is not completely equal. There's still some sort of subjugation and oppression of the female. Looking at it from the African perspective, even up to today, the female are still majorly protected when it comes to provision. In the African culture, even currently, the male are still seen as the protectors and the providers, and are expected to protect the female. But by so doing, the female has been subjugated in some instances of these different cultures. And the woman's perspective of how life is viewed is not put into consideration, which is where the injustice comes in. And so the woman is rising up to say, hey, I have a voice. Hello, male gender. You came through the world through my womb. I am representative of society. I'm representative of you as well. You need to consider my pain. You need to consider the injustice that is being meted to me in several ways, especially sexually, because some male actually look at a female nothing less than a sexual habitation. forgetting that the female is representative in his life of his mother, his sisters, his female cousins, his female friends, and the womb that he once inhabited. In the African context, the African type of feminism is a woman being able to stand up against economical injustice and capitalization, whereby the woman is not able to feed herself without the man doing so, whereby the woman is not able to take care of her children without the man doing so, whereby when the woman is married and the marriage ends up in divorce, the woman then has no responsibility whatsoever to taking care of her nor the children, because of the fact that during the marriage she has not economically empowered herself. And so when the marriage ends, she finds herself in a place of economical impoverishment. These are the type of injustices the African feminists are rising up against, fighting against, speaking out against, and making the male gender understand that, hey, we matter. Hey, we are your mothers. Hey, male gender, we are your sisters. You cannot oppress us as if we are not humans. You cannot sexually harass us as if we are just a log to be sexually used and dumped and not ever be taken care of. The African culture still values the place of a man being a protector. The African culture still values the place of a man being a provider. The African culture still appreciates the place of a man complementing them, especially during the period of pregnancy, motherhood, during the period of nurturing the children, whereby they are not able to do as much in the society, not because they are weaklings, but because their attention is more focused on rearing those children and creating an environment for the family to flourish. So when the woman spends her time, her life doing all of this, why then should she be subjugated? Why then should she not be valued, or her contribution not be valued? This is what the African feminism is rising up against: injustices, in order to be counted as equal contributors in society, equal providers. Yes, women are also providers, providing in the nurturing of the care of the children, guiding the children aright, while the man is in the field working in a different way. So is the woman at home working in a different way. This is the ancient African understanding. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Do hope to see you next time. Take care now. Bye.